Before the college entrance examination, my childhood sweetheart fell in love with a sports boy. She hung out with him all day, gave up the exam for him, and even gave him her most precious thing. I couldn't bear to see him fall, so I told his parents. The incident became a big deal, and the sports boy was beaten half to death by his father and then disappeared from the crowd. Many years later, at our wedding, my childhood sweetheart learned of his death and set our wedding room on fire. You killed him. It should have been him and me standing here. Go to hell and atone for your sins. The raging flames illuminated his hideous face. When I opened my eyes again, I was back in my senior year of high school. Please, my good childhood sweetheart, just help me. Just tell a little lie. Just lie to my parents and say that you and I went to the library. The voice in my ear gradually became clearer. I screamed and looked up suddenly, and the pain of the burning fire disappeared in an instant like a tide. Seeing this pretty face in front of me, I subconsciously took a step back, and Zhang Yu immediately got angry. Shen Junyi, it's fine if you don't agree, but why are you so scared? I don't eat people. I stood there in a daze and suddenly realized that I was reborn. Seeing that I was not in a good state, Zhang Yu grabbed my wrist and shook it hard. Chen Jinmi, what's wrong with you? Don't scare me. The worried look on his face didn't seem fake, but it was also true that he set fire to me to death. For you 10 years later, Zhang Yu is my childhood sweetheart, as her name suggests, as gentle and bright as moonlight. On the day of the opening ceremony of the first year of high school, he stood on the stage in a white dress and played the violin elegantly, and walked into the hearts of countless young people who were in love with spring in the audience. Everyone called him white moonlight, that is unattainable, illuminates everyone equally, but can never be held tightly by anyone. And I am the existence that all the boys in the school envy. Zhang Yu has a quiet and slow personality, and is just a casual friend to everyone except me, of course. Our two families were neighbors and visited each other frequently. When Zhang Yu was young, his father and mother were busy with work, so they often sent Zhang Yu to my house to be raised. My classmates always joked, "You are so lucky you're close to me. Don't forget to invite me to the wedding when you get married." I also thought I was different. I thought this was the destined marriage between Zhang Yu and me until He Yu appeared. He Yu is a sports student in our school. He is lonely and has a bad record, but he has a very handsome face, a face that Zhang Yu can fall for at first sight. In my previous life, I couldn't stand his pleading and agreed to help him deceive his parents so that he could go and play with He Yu at ease. Since then, the two words He Yu often appear in his mouth. I have never seen such a broken person. He is really pitiful. He lost his mother when he was young, and his father is an alcoholic. He feels very insecure. He said that I am his only light, and I illuminate him. Hearing this, I couldn't help feeling sour in my heart, but I couldn't help it. Later, Zhang Yu gradually distanced himself from me and became inseparable from He Yu. He started skipping classes and even gave up the art exam for him. It wasn't until I saw this goddess recognized by the whole school appear at the door of a dirty and messy hotel with He Yu's arm in arm with a satisfied look on her face that I chose to tell the truth when his parents asked him where he was that night. Jiang's father and mother were furious. They ran to the school to make a scene and threatened to call the police. He Yu's father was immediately furious and beat him up. No one could persuade him. Since then, He Yu disappeared in our youth. Everything seemed to be back on track. Many years later, Zhang Yu and I entered the marriage hall. At the wedding, a high school classmate got drunk and said with a smile, "Do you still remember that He Yu? After he dropped out of school, he went to the club and had a lot of fun. He was hacked to death by a rich woman's husband last month." This incident was also on the news. Zhang Yu's face turned pale. "That night, he took advantage of my drunkenness and burned down our wedding room. You killed him. I could have saved him. He and I could have had a great future. I married you just because I had enough fun and was looking for someone to take over." Shen Junyi, you are an absolute bootlicker. Every day with you is torture. Now I am finally free. I am finally free. I never thought that she would hate me for so many years because of He Yu. I lost consciousness in his crazy laughter. Maybe God heard my inner cry. Since I have been given a chance to start over, I will never make the same mistake again this time. Zhang, you touched my forehead. Are you okay? Are you frozen waiting for me? I shook my head and slowly spoke in his expectant eyes. Go and play with Hiyu. After the evening self-study, get out of class. I won't wait for you to go home together. Zhang Yu frowned and was a little surprised. Shen Zhenyi, why are you so stingy? I can't have you as my only friend. Yu is a very good person. If you get along with him, you will definitely like him. He thought I was angry with him. I know he is just a gangster in your eyes, but that's because he has a bad family background and has gone astray. I will definitely save him. In his previous life, he approached you with this idea in mind, but later he said to me, don't bother me. He was meant if we don't play now, will we play? Wait until we are old? Youth is meant to be squandered. Life is short. Live happily every day. When he stared into the abyss was also staring at him. He failed to save anyone, but was assimilated by Hiyu. This time, I chose to bless him. Then I wish you good luck and save him successfully. At this time, you came out of the alley next to us and walked towards us. His sinister eyes stared at me as if I had stolen something from him. He said to Zhang Yu, I'll take you home. Zhang Yu ignored him, but stared at me suspiciously. Shinzhenyi, what's wrong with you today? You're so weird. I didn't say anything, but just quickened my pace to go home. Zhang Yu stamped her feet angrily behind me. Why are you being so sarcastic to me? If you don't want to wait for me, don't wait for me. Who cares? You will beg me to play with you in the future. Nerd. I sincerely wish her well. In this life, she can pursue what she wants. I respect her destiny. In my previous life, I spent too much thought on Zhang Yu. The college entrance examination was like 1,000 troops crossing a single plank bridge. How could I be indecisive? In the end, I only went to a bottom tier 985. I could have done better. Now it's less than 4 months before the college entrance examination. This time I must go all out. Zhang Yu took the initiative to find me. His appearance attracted everyone's attention. The bloated blue school uniform could not hide her beauty at all, but made her look more youthful and beautiful. My desk mate elbowed me and winked at me. He must be here to see you. Sure enough, Zhang Yu ran straight to me and handed me a paper bag. My mother asked me to bring it to you. It's a specialty she brought back from a business trip. I didn't even raise my head and continued to calculate on the draft paper. Well, put it here, think Auntie for me. Zhang Yu didn't move. I raised my head and saw him frowning and complaining to me. Chen Zhenyi, it was obviously me who carried it to you. Why don't you thank me? I said briefly. Thank you. He glared at me, hesitated, and finally walked away. My desk mate advised me, did you have a fight? I was wondering why I didn't see you two walking together recently. The girl took the initiative to show her kindness to you. Don't take it too seriously. Just give her a way out. I denied it directly. No. Soon, the news that Zhang Yu came to see me reached Hiyu's ears. After the afternoon physical education class, a basketball hit me on the back of the head. I looked back and saw Hiyu said to me with a gloomy face, I will fight with you. If I win, you are not allowed to bother Zhang Yu anymore. I said, get the facts clear. I didn't want to waste words with him. I had to go back to practice questions. But he was angry. Could it be Zhang Yu who is bothering you? Don't think that he will like you just because you grew up with him. Take a piss and look at yourself. Zhang Yu doesn't like a coward like you. Coward is a great insult to any man, not to mention that I am still a mature man in my heart. You punched me directly and said provocatively, coward, come on. The glasses on the bridge of my nose were knocked off, and my eyes were blurred. He used fists were fast and fierce, but I was not a vegetarian. When I was a child, I was in poor health, and my mother always asked me to learn Taekwondo. He had no skills, and he fought with a fierceness. We fought back and forth, and neither of us got anything good. Until Zhang Yu screamed, rushed over and slapped me. My cheek was burning with pain. It was the first time in my life that I was slapped. Zhang Yu used all his strength to slap me. His palm was red and his arm was shaking. He angrily questioned me, Chen Zhenyi, are you sick? Why are you bullying Hiyu? The resentful look in his eyes seemed to want to cut me into pieces. The treatment Hiyu received was completely different from mine. Zhang Yu carefully helped him up, his face full of worry. He stood on tiptoes and blew gently on his face. I have to admit that the two of them are actually very well matched. The man is handsome and the woman is beautiful. Anyone who sees them will be amazed. Zhang Yu asked anxiously, "Does it hurt?" Hugh just answered lightly, "I'm used to it." So Zhang Yu felt even more distressed. In order to vent his anger, he stepped on my glasses that fell to the ground and broke them in front of me. This pair of glasses was given by Zhang Yu. When he was 16, he won a prize in a violin competition and bought them for me with the prize money. Jiang's mother said that he had been choosing for a long time, choosing over and over again, and guessing which one I would like and which one would look good on me. This little girl didn't even take such care when choosing gifts for me and her father. Jiang Yu's ears turned red and she said, "Coca the sly. Mom, don't say that. I used to treasure everything he gave me. In my previous life, I even kept this pair of glasses, thinking that after my and Jiang Yu's child was born, I would tell him our love story. It's funny to think about it now." Zhang Yu pointed at my nose and cursed, "Chen Zhenyi, you are an absolute bastard. Oh, monster without empathy. I tell you, we are finished. We are no longer friends." It's strange that I didn't feel heartbroken when I heard such words. I just felt that they were annoying. I got up and dusted off the dust neatly. "These glasses are a gift from you. It's okay if you stepped on them and broke them. I enjoyed this slap. I don't want to hit a girl, but I won't be so generous next time. Keep your Hiyu away from me. I'm very busy, and I don't have time to act out any youth-pain literature with you." Hiyu is a piece of useless mud, and only Zhang Yu is so naive that she wants to save him in her senior year of high school when she is busy with her own affairs. He is happy to be his savior anyway. It has nothing to do with me. Zhang Yu and I fell into a cold war unilaterally. He looked away as soon as he saw me and treated me as invisible. It has been like this since childhood. Once I made him unhappy, he would not say a word to me and insisted that I admit my mistakes and make peace. I was happy to be free, and I was more motivated to practice questions. Soon the first mock exam came quietly. I prepared for the exam seriously, and I felt very good about myself. After the exam, the classmates gathered together to discuss the answers enthusiastically. I don't know who said, "Do you know?" Zhang Yu didn't see him for the whole afternoon during the exam. His class teacher is looking for him everywhere now. Zhang Yu has always been a celebrity in our school. Even though we are in different classes, I can often hear about him from my classmates. Someone started it, so everyone began to discuss him with great interest. I felt bored, so I packed up and went home for dinner. Halfway through the walk, Yu appeared in front of me with Zhang Yu in her arms. Her waist-length hair has been cut short, her makeup is exaggerated, and she has black lipstick on her lips. But it is indisputable that she is still beautiful. He is willing to give up the exam for you, right? Shen Zhenyi, you are a loser. I couldn't bear it anymore. Yes, loser. A trace of embarrassment flashed across Yu's face. "I can say whatever I want. It's none of your business. Just be a nerd anyway. No girl will like you. Does he think that all girls are as superficial as he is?" Zhang Yu leaned in his arms and confessed affectionately, Hugh, now you believe that I love you the most, right? I can give up everything for you. Don't threaten me with breaking up in the future. I can't live without you." He seemed really moved. He held her hand and knelt on one knee and said, You are the light given to me by God. Thank you for lighting me up." I was speechless and walked away. We hugged each other and kissed as if no one was around, performing an idle drama-like plot. Later, in order to cover up the lie, Zhang Yu deliberately broke her right hand, claiming that she didn't take the exam because of a broken right hand. Jiang's mother was so anxious. What should I do? How can I study like this? The college entrance examination is coming soon. Zhang Yu looked indifferent. At most, I can repeat the year. It's okay. Mom, I'm so smart. I can do better in the exam if I study for another year. Jiang's mother sighed and begged me, "Zhenyu, you have good grades. Please help you when you are free." When the mock exam results came out, I was in the top 10 in the My best result was just outside the top 10. The head teacher had a favorable eye for me and said that I might be the dark horse of this class. Before I opened my mouth, Zhang Yu yelled, "No, I don't want him to teach me." Jiang's mother looked a little embarrassed and helped Zhang Yu explain. "That's right. He's in the third year of high school. Zhenyi needs to spend more time on himself." My mother was heartbroken and asked Zhang Yu with red eyes, Does it hurt? My mother watched her grow up and had long regarded her as half her own daughter. Zhang Yu smiled happily and tight at all. After the adults left, she sneered and said to me, "Don't feel sorry for me. Love can relieve pain. What's a little injury? You're just a bookworm. Don't think you can get cocky just because my mom praises you. Don't come to me in the future. I'm afraid you will misunderstand." She picked up the oranges my mom asked me to peel for her and threw them directly into the trash can. "I won't eat anything of yours. They're as disgusting as you." I didn't take his words to heart. I was still immersed in the joy of being in the top 10 in the grade. If my mom hadn't pulled me away, I wouldn't have come to see him at all. After his right hand was fractured, Zhang Yu became even more unscrupulous and played crazy with Yu every day. On Sunday, my mother was busy in the kitchen and suddenly said to me, "Jenny, go and call Yu to come home for dinner." I didn't want to, and my mother frowned and complained, "Why are you two so angry again?" "Yu's hand is broken. Your Uncle John and Dan John are on business trips. She is alone at home. The little girl is so pitiful. Be obedient. You manly man should be more magnanimous, given to others more, be good. Go and call Yu up." In my mother's eyes, Zhang Yu is still the little girl who is well-behaved, unsensible, and loves to act coquettish lie in his arms. I thought about it and decided to go out. I would go around and come back later and tell him directly that Zhang Yu is not at home. "Zhang Yu lives next door to my house." An ambiguous laughter came from his house. I am an adult and I already know what happened. I was about to turn around and go home, but the door suddenly opened. Yu was standing at the door with his bare chest, a cigarette in his mouth, and an indescribable smell in the air. "Fried frog, do you feel good eavesdropping? Do you know that you have to pay?" Zhang Yu behind him was hurriedly buttoning his clothes. His hair was messy, his cheeks were flushed, and there were obvious red marks on his neck. What's even more outrageous is that his right hand was intact. It turned out that he was pretending, and there was no fracture at all. I just didn't expect them to be so bold that they actually took advantage of no one at home to do such a thing. Yu pushed my shoulder. His eyes were fierce. "If you look again, I will dig your eyeballs out. You stupid boy who has never even seen a woman." Zhang Yu came over and threatened me. "Shen Zhenyi, you are not allowed to tell my parents. Otherwise, I can't guarantee what AYU will do to you." Her lips were delicate and swollen, with model bite marks on them. "It's better to have less trouble than more." I said, "My mom is calling you for dinner, so it doesn't matter if you are not at home." He smiled with satisfaction, kissed her, and put the cigarette ring into her mouth. Before leaving, I threw down the last sentence. "By the way, don't mess with me in the future. Otherwise, I will probably let it slip." Without Zhang Yu's interruption, I made rapid progress. After the physical examination for the college entrance examination, a piece of news caused an uproar. The classmates were talking about it. "Have you heard about it? During the physical examination, Zhang Yu was found to be pregnant. On the surface, she looks so pure and cold, but in fact, she has already become the shape of Yu in secret." Ha 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 ha. At this time, the monitor came panting. "Chen Jinyi, the head teacher asked you to go to the office." I didn't understand, but someone looked at me and said, "No way, you are also involved." In me and said, "No way, you are also involved in the university bully. You look serious, but you are not a serious person." I frowned and denied. "Watch your mouth." He didn't care. "What? It's not a spy, you Guan. You made a lot of money." As soon as I walked out of the classroom door, I saw Jiang's father walking towards me aggressively. I subconsciously greeted him, but he kicked me down. "Shen Zhenyi, you beast." Jiang's father wanted to do it, but was stopped by Jiang's mother. My mother was at a loss. There must be some misunderstanding. Zhenyi is usually very sensible and would never do such a thing. He turned to me and said hurriedly, "Zhenyi, say something unexplained to your Uncle John." "What happened?" Zhang Yu was standing behind them with red eyes and looking desperate. Seeing me looking at him, he raised a provocative smile. He was afraid of hurting Yu, so he let me take the blame. I got up and said word by word, "I didn't." Father Zhang got even angrier. His usually serious face flushed red. "You little bastard, you did it, but you don't dare to admit it, right? I must beat you to death. I was wrong about you. I still treated you as half a son. My mother stopped him. There must be a misunderstanding, old Zhang. Jun, you grew up in your care. You know what in your care. You know what kind of person he is. Father Zhang roared. Can you still use her innocence to slander him? Zhang Yu also slandered him. Down Yu's. Shar started to act, burying herself in Jiang's mother's arms and crying. Chen Zhenmi is to me. If this child is yours, bear warm any studio to that kind of thing destroy. My goddess, how could you be blind? Maybe they did it a long time ago, and they were discovered only now. Adolescent boys are full of blood and energy. Those who understand will understand. Chen Zhanyi looks like a decent person, but I didn't expect him to be such a person behind the scenes. He has no responsibility at all, and his character is so bad. Public opinion was one-sided. Xiao Yu cried even louder when she saw this and kept throwing dirty water on me. Chen Zhenyi, you lied to me. You lied to me. You said you liked me, but now you don't even dare to admit it. If I had known you were that kind of person, I would never have been with you. I was not panicked at all and sneered. How about we check the community surveillance to see who you brought home? Otherwise, we call the police and let the police check the small hotel behind the school. Was it me or you who appeared there with you? Zhang Yu's face turned pale in an instant. Zhang Yu only wanted to protect Yu, so she made up such a lame lie which was full of loopholes. Sure enough, playing with stupid people will lower your IQ, and Zhang Yu is the best example. Soon, the school called Yu's father to the school. Unlike in the previous life, Yu's father did not beat him this time, but was very happy and said in the office, "You, just give birth to my grandson peacefully." Jiang's father slapped the table. Give birth, what do you mean? They are both children. Yu's father smiled and said, children can still go to bed. Your daughter is like this. Before he finished speaking, he was knocked to the ground by Jiang's father. Yu's father had a bad temper to begin with, and Jiang's father was angry again. The two of them immediately started fighting, and they lost all the dignity of adults. The office was in chaos, and the principal and a group of leaders struggled to pull them apart. Yu's father was full of foul language, and Yu vowed, I will be responsible for you. As soon as he finished speaking, Jiang's father gave him a big slap in the face, and no one stopped him and thought he deserved it. Yu's father didn't care. You can hit me, and when you calm down, we can talk about my grandson. Jiang's father's fist was about to fall again, but Jiang Yu rushed in front of Yu, stiffening his neck. Dad, if you want, if you willing, falling, willing, but willing. Yuli willing, willing, but Jiang Yu rushed in front of Yu willing. If you bind of your willing, get and don't, and you really willing, I am willing, yielding to an fan of Jiang found for Jiang play song for I am placing for with uncling please safe now time down the down great I am how they so you really with I mother and that and that I be sound for the young be sure you I met and but they can tear in private and I and now high all with can down for what you that only when I can I have every one again you can die pay when I that only boy when I am bent that I say Alice and Melly and Billy but they some guy we love. You can control your daughter, but he should make the decision for his own child, right? Hugh's father drinks and acts crazy all day long, but he has a lot of crooked logic. Yes, this is my child, and he is also alive. Why do you deprive him of the right to be born? I am his mother. I want to give birth, and he must be born. Looking at his stubborn face, Jiang's father couldn't help but slap him. How will you feed him in the future? Do you still want your own life? Jiang Yu save him in the future. Do you still want your own life? Jiang Yu's cheeks swelled up immediately, a future. And he almost cried and shouted, I Jiang Yu. And he almost cried and shouted, I don't care. I will give birth. I will give birth. I will give birth. I will give birth from then on. Jiang Yu never came to school again, but there were always. Once Yu was kicked out by Jiang's father and was poured with a basin of mop water. Jiang Yu helped him up with heartache and wiped the water droplets off his body with her sleeve. Hey, why, you okay? It's all my dad's fault. He is too rigid. How could you be bad? You are the best in my heart. I happened to pass by his house after evening self-study, but was affected again. Jiang Yu looked at me angrily. If it weren't for you, would we become like this? What would happen if you helped Tay while you block it? My dad won't embarrass you, Shen Zhenyi. You are really too selfish. He really had the nerve to blame me. I stared at his unreasonable eyes. and suddenly thought of a long time ago when I failed the exam and he comforted me for a long time. We lay side by side on the playground looking at the stars in the night sky, and he asked me, Chen Jinyi, what kind of future do you want? I thought about it and answered, a house that can shelter me from the wind and rain, a job that can support me and my family, and a lover who supports me and cares about me. That night her eyes were more beautiful than the starry sky. Then I will play the violin for the rest of my life. If you can't make it in the future, I will support you. What naive oath! The person who said it has forgotten it, but I still remember it. It's just that the scene is so distant that it seems like it was in the last life. Even if all of you oppose it, I will overcome difficulties and obstacles and be with you. I want to prove to all of you that we are right. Bang, I closed the door. Huh? The world is quiet. After this incident, my parents became more and more dissatisfied with their family. How dare you throw dirty water on my son? My son is so obedient and honest. How could he do such a shameless thing? If I raise such a confused daughter, I will break off relations with him directly. What he said came true. Jiang's father took Jiangyu to have an abortion. That day, Hiyu's father rushed to the hospital, cried madly, made a fuss, and even threatened to hang himself. He threatened that if anyone dared to operate on Jiangyu, he would jump off the building and die in the hospital. The doctor did not dare to perform the operation, so the operation was shelved. For many days, Hiyu's father stayed downstairs at the building, and Jiangyu also used a hunger strike to force his parents to give in. Jiang's father was overwhelmed, having to take care of both work and family, and he could not take care of both. Jiang's mother sighed and cried all day long. Not long after, Jiangyu eloped with Hiyu. On the night they chose to elope, I was concentrating on doing homework. I heard the movement downstairs and glanced out the window. The moon was bright in the stars' worst parts, and the cicadas were chirping. The boy who had nothing was holding the girl who was full of courage and ran towards the distance without hesitation. How romantic does it sound? It doesn't matter, life will teach them how to be a man. Some things are far from as good as they imagined. Without an economic foundation, without skills, and a child who is about to be born and crying for food, I dare not think how many hard days are waiting for them. No matter how sweet the lovers are, they have to face the critical blow of reality. Later, I heard that on the day of elopement, Zhang Yu gave his parents sleeping pills to ensure that everything would go well. Jiang's mother had a heart disease and almost couldn't wake up. Jiang's father gave up on Zhang Yu and threatened to break off relations with him. Just treat him as dead. Just treat me as a dog who doesn't know how to be grateful all these years. Father Zhang threw all of Zhang Yu's things out of the house. One day when I passed by the garbage dump, I happened to see the violin with a broken string. Once upon a time, it shone brightly on the stage and was regarded as a treasure by others, but now it was lying alone in the corner, dirty and broken. I didn't look at it anymore, but looked up at the rising sun and continued to walk to the school. Their figures gradually disappeared in my youth, and this farce finally came to an end. The sun flashed outside the window. In this summer, I was admitted to Peking University as I wished and became the biggest dark horse of this year. Our class teacher's face was almost broken with laughter, and he kept praising me for my hard work. My parents held a big banquet and invited many relatives and friends. Those brothers and sisters who hadn't seen each other for a long time all surrounded me and asked me respectfully. The adults told them, learn more from your brother, you know. Get some smart air. This lively scene made Jiang's mother red-eyed. If you didn't have it, Father Jiang shouted, on such a festive day, why did you mention that unlucky thing? He wants to kill you, and you're still thinking about him. After Zhang Yu slandered me, Jiang's father and mother apologized to me many times. This middle-aged man, who is always stern, bowed deeply in front of me and said solemnly, I'm sorry. I thought he was unlucky, so I didn't pursue the matter and comforted him instead. Jiang's father looked at me for a long time. The man who had always been strong and upright seemed to age in an instant, and his eyes were red in silence. A few years later, I received a call from afar. Xianzhenyi, this familiar voice is Zhang Yu. Yes, it's me. His voice was choked with sobs. Can you contact my parents? Why are their phone numbers out of service? I replied. They don't want you to disturb them again, so they changed their phone numbers. How could it be? Impossible. How could it be? A child's cry came from the other side, followed by Zhang Yu crying. On New Year's Eve of this year, Zhang Yu knelt at the door, followed by a half-grown child, shouting at the top of his lungs, "Mom and Dad, come and see your grandson. Please let me in. I know I was wrong. I really know I was wrong." Even though his forehead was bleeding, the door in front of him did not open. What he didn't know was that Jiang's father and mother had already moved away. Jiang's father was a very face-conscious man. After something like this happened, he couldn't pretend nothing had happened. My mother also told me that John's mother was pregnant. Selling this house meant that he had walked out of the haze and was ready to raise his second child well. Everything has settled, and we are all moving forward. Only John Yu is still trapped in the summer when he was 18 years old. It was many years later that I saw John Yu again. When I was answering the phone on the street, I happened to see the two of them arguing. Why does he look more and more like your ex-boyfriend? I don't have an ex-boyfriend. Don't be stubborn. You must have had an affair with your childhood sweetheart. Don't think I don't know. Before the woman could open her mouth to defend herself, the man smashed the bottle in his hand. The loud noise attracted the attention of passers-by. The woman was frightened and began to tremble. Why did he react so strongly? I soon knew why. The man slapped him in the face and punched and kicked him. "The longer your dick grows, the less it looks like me. You want to control my drinking. Just take care of yourself, bitch." The woman protected her head and endured his anger motionless lie. Obviously, this happens frequently. I couldn't stand it anymore and stepped forward to stop him. The man cursed. "What the hell is it to you? Get out of here." He picked up a stool and was about to hit the woman. I also got angry and picked up a bottle of wine. "If you want to hit someone, go to the boxing gym. She is your wife, not a punching bag. If you do it again, I will call the police. You stinky woman, you are lucky." The man saw my attitude, said a few harsh words, and then left in disgrace. The woman lay on the ground, sobbing uncontrollably. I sighed and handed her a tissue. Blind tolerance will only lead to more severe bullying. After leaving this advice, I turned and left. At this time, a cautious test came from behind Shinjuni. I turned around, a little surprised. But he walked forward excitedly and took my arm. "It's me, I'm Zhang Yu, the Zhang Yu who grew up with you." Only then did I remember that things have changed and time has passed. The girl who once shone so brightly has gradually blurred in my mind, leaving only a faint shadow, but that shadow can never match the person in front of me. She has changed too much. The bloated and fat figure, the vicissitudes of life face, the silent and timid temperament are all far from the girl who used to be as quiet as water. Zhang Yu sighed. "You are still the same. You haven't changed much." He looked at his rough palms and laughed at himself. "Not like me." I asked, "Then who was that just now?" I really couldn't remember his name. "You? It's him." When Zhang Yu said this, his eyes dimmed and a faint sigh overflowed from his mouth. He smiled bitterly. "He is no different from his father." This sentence is like a key to memory, awakening those pictures about youth. I suddenly remembered that many years ago he had a stubborn expression and vowed, "Love can relieve pain." He viewed his father as his father, and he is different from his father. What's the difference? Parents are the first teachers of their children, and what kind of parents will teach what kind of children? Children who do not receive proper guidance will always spend a lot of time and energy to correct, change, and get back on the right track after adulthood. But he obviously does not have this ability to correct himself, and he still becomes the father he hates the most. Big tears slid through his fingers. What kind of life have I lived all these years? Why did I choose to go with him? I almost killed my mother. I was so stupid. I was so stupid. He suddenly looked up at me as if he had grabbed the last straw to choke him. He suddenly looked up at me as if he had clearly regretted. "Is there still a chance for us? Can you take me with you?" His words stopped abruptly when he saw my wife behind me. My wife had just finished shopping, holding the shopping bags in one hand and holding my arm intimately with the other hand. She asked me with a smile, "Your friend?" I replied, "Yes, old classmate." She stretched out her hand to Zhang Yu, who was a little at a loss. After hesitating for a while, he still held his hand. After saying hello, my wife straightened my collar for me and said softly, "You guys chat slowly, Jenny. I'll wait for you in the car." Jiangyu felt guilty. He clearly heard what I said. I asked him back, "Isn't it normal for lovers to trust each other?" Jiangyu was stunned where he was, as if struck by lightning. After a long while, he spoke in a hoarse voice. "I had a very long dream. In the dream, I did not leave with Hiyu. I was admitted to a pretty good university, graduated smoothly, and worked smoothly. People kept coming to me, and people kept leaving. But after a long time of twists and turns, you and I finally met, and he said nothing more. The small shop on the street was playing Steffi Sun's Dark Sky. I fell in love with a person who made me risk my life. I thought this was the world I was pursuing. However, I rushed around, was misunderstood and deceived, and wondered if there was always something wrong behind the adult world." The lyrics were unexpectedly appropriate. Flowers may bloom again, but people can never be young again. When he was young, he had too many opportunities to correct his choices, but he didn't. Time has passed to the present, and life has taught him the truths that his parents and books did not teach him. "Zhangyu, you chose your own path. You can't blame anyone. I can't help you, but the law can." I didn't want to say much to him. Just like many years ago, I sent my sincere blessings. "I wish you good luck. I should go. My wife is still waiting for me." Zhang Yu was silent for a long time. After a moment, he caught up with me, and his voice was filled with tears. "The person standing next to you should have been mine, right? If life could be repeated, then I paused and interrupted him. "Maybe it really can, but you can't live with such a wild idea. You have to look forward, live the life you want, work hard, transform, be reborn, and welcome the future that belongs to you." Compared with other ways, learning is a safer and less risky path. He chose to indulge himself at the age when he should have struggled the most, and the road ahead is destined to be more difficult than his peers. But it doesn't matter as long as you decide to change, it's never too late.